Welcome back to another episode of Dear Source, your ascendancy hotline, where we tackle real life problems, regardless of what the topic is, and bring a spiritual perspective. So here's your daily dose of spiritual guidance. And for those of you that have not, please like, subscribe, comment, share. I would love to connect and have you join me on this journey. And for those that continue to send in letters, thank you so much. Please continue to write in. I will answer your questions, channeling the element of source to give us a spiritual perspective on what your real life questions and issues are. So let's dive right in. And today's letter comes from Concerned and Searching. And it says, Dear Source, I feel deeply unsettled as the U.S. election approaches. And today is actually the day we vote. It's more important than just concern. It feels like a pivotal moment in history, a clash between forces of light and darkness, positive and negative polarities. I can't shake the feeling that whatever the outcome, it may set the stage for something far bigger, even the beginning of the end of an era. The gravity of it makes it hard for me to move forward. The tension, the uncertainty, the way it's dividing people, it's as though the stakes are far beyond politics, reaching into the soul of the country, maybe even the world. Part of me wants to disengage for my own peace, but it feels irresponsible to ignore something this monumental. How can I navigate this time? Holding on to hope and faith while recognizing the forces at play. I want to contribute positively, yet I feel overwhelmed by the enormity of it all. How do I find a way to move towards a balancing my concerns with some semblance of peace? Sincerely, Concerned and Searching. Thank you, Concerned and Searching. What a beautiful letter. And I think your sentiment, is pretty well acknowledged and reflected in the world. So I can feel the energy. And I do think that this moment, I think we're going through a great awakening on the planet. And what I would remind you is two things. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, and we're a human being having a spiritual experience. And when we think about being a spiritual being, we are here to follow the laws that govern the universe, that are the law of God. And there's one law that God has given us to follow, is to love thy neighbor as ourselves. And I think that this moment in time, I do think that there is a lot happening. I think I liked your point of do I disengage or do I step in? And part of what is going on is they want the negative polarity. There is two polarities here. There is a positive polarity and there is a negative polarity. And the positive polarity is trying to activate you, to step you into the divinity of who you are, to remind you that you are a sovereign being. You are the essence of God himself, embodied in human form. We are here to remember that. We are here to activate that and embody that. And the negative polarity wants you to disconnect from that. It wants you to forget that you are a divine emanation of God, that you are source itself, that you are here as a sovereign being, God. And so when we look at what's transpiring in the world, we have an opportunity to really connect. Like if we think about the divinity of who we are as a being, that I am perfectly and fiercely made. Every element of me was made in the image of God. My body knows what to do. It knows how to breathe. It knows how to reproduce cells. It knows how to engage and speak and communicate. It is the most awe-inspiring thing. And just like our bodies, the universe is the exact same. It is divinely and perfectly made. And there's other laws that govern the universe. The law of rhythm, which talks about the cycles, that we have seasons and cycles to everything. And we've seen this throughout history. We've seen cycles where things come and then they go, and you have civilizations die off. We have all of those things going on simultaneously at play. But when we think about what the universe has gifted us in the last 4-5 years, is the ability to awaken, the ability to discern, the ability to understand what is happening. And when I think about what I'm starting to see and read and hear, is that the lid is starting to come off, where the negative polarity no longer has control. It no longer can keep the lid on how corrupt the government is. It can't keep a lid on all the negative things that it's been doing to keep control of you. And so today is about a choice of, do I fight for the divinity of who I am and the right that I have as a human being, that my rights are given to me by God. The government is not here to give any rights to us. So placing any power in the government is also an illusion. We are here to put the masks on ourselves. We are here to help each other, our neighbors, and love our neighbors as ourselves. We are here to remember that we hold and house the power. And what I would share is, from a standpoint of spirituality, there is a side that is more positively polarized, that is polarized to the light, that is polarized to the principle of which we are governed. And one of those principles is, when we think about how do we grow and heal as an individual, we grow and heal by putting the mask on ourselves, by doing the work ourselves. So thinking about the American First movement, that is a spiritually grounded principle, because as a human being, we are to do the same. We have an element of, we can't serve unless we ourselves are whole. So when you think about, what does it mean to put, like, if you think of the US as a collective being, in order for the US to serve the world and other, let's say, nation states that are collective beings, it then has to do the work itself to be whole and complete. So if we are morally corrupt and unhealthy and all these other things, then how can we go out and have any moral authority in the world? We have to put the mask on ourselves, staying out of wars, not starting wars, not funding wars that are killing innocent human beings. Like Christ, we are here to be like Christ. We are here to remember the divinity of who we are. So today is about taking back our divinity. It's about fighting for our divinity. It's for stating that the power that is housed is in us as people, and that we don't want any form of government over us that is not representing us as people. And we have the ability to discern, this isn't about two individuals, this is about understanding what they represent, where they're polarized to, and what they're going to give to the world. And just like our bodies are perfectly organized, I have faith that the universe is on it, that it is going to organize whatever is meant to happen for the highest and greatest growth of the collective. Just like COVID was, although super tragic, it also awakened us. Like sometimes we need these events to help us see and to help grow us. And so we have to trust that just like our bodies are these magnificent, perfect machines that are reproducing and recreating at any given moment to sustain life, the universe is doing the same for the human collective because we're here. The only reason why we are incarnated here is to raise the consciousness of ourselves. And as we raise the consciousness of ourselves, we raise the consciousness of the planet. How are we going to save the planet? By remembering the divinity, by coming into the connectedness of who we are, the oneness with the world that we have, and that we understand that every other person, every other object in the universe, we are to exist in right relationship with. That's what today is about. It's about a remembrance of who we are, the divinity that we are, and to make choices that represent our ability to remember the truest essence of who we are. It's that simple. It's not about all the other issues. So all the other issues stem from that principle. So when we look at it, we have to use our discernment to say, does this align with the highest and greatest good of the whole of the human collective? Does this serve humanity? That's all. That's all we're here to do. So there's no need to be concerned. We have to trust in God. We have to trust in ourselves. We need to align ourselves and act from a divine state of being. We need to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. We need to extend the olive branch and understand where every person is at and hold them in loving grace of that, and trust that the evolution and consciousness of this planet are well orchestrated, they're well designed, and they're far beyond any of beyond any one of our egos. So God's got this, and it's going to do what we need it to do in order to enlighten and move this planet forward. And we need to be active participants in that, ignoring stuff that is negatively polarizing, accepting stuff that's negatively polarizing, accepting stuff that is just is egregious and wrong, for the lack of better words. Those are things that we have to take a stand for. Pretending they don't exist doesn't make them go away. Seeing them, shining a light on them, bringing a light to them, that's how we drive out the darkness, is through light, is by bringing more light. So each one of us has to shine our light bright. We need to share with the world our divinity and our greatness. We need to step into the authenticity of each of our souls, and to do that through love and light. to do that through the highest and greatest good of ourselves. And for that, it will translate to humanity. So no need to panic, concerned and searching. God, source, the universe divine is already on this. We will all be okay tomorrow and the next day and the next day, as long as we continue to do the work of our enlightenment, of our searching, of our learning, and continue to bring light to the dark. So by ignoring the dark, we don't drive it out. We need to bring spirituality to every aspect of our lives because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are here under God's law. There is no way to avoid that. You can profess that you don't believe. That is your choice, but that doesn't mean that the universe and God's laws still don't apply. So I hope that helped. I hope that gives you hope. Hope that gives you faith and trust in the divine, that he has a perfect plan for each and every one of us, for the planet, for the collective as a whole, for us to rise into our divinity, to remember our divinity, and to step into the fullness of who we are. And when we do that, our lights will be so bright that darkness cannot exist. So, thank you. What a great letter on a very, on today. I don't even know the words that Source wants me to use there, but, you know, all is well, all will be well, and we will continue to ascend and grow. So keep focusing on your spiritual growth, keep doing the work that you're doing. It sounds like you are well tapped in, so continue to pull and draw on that and lean into what you know. Continue to reach out and build community. I think in moments like this, we have an opportunity to connect even more. We are a herd species. We are here to be connected. We are here to support each other. We don't survive without each other. So we have an opportunity to take moments like this to catalyze them into what do we want? Instead of focusing on what's going on, what do I want? How do I build a different world and a different society? And it's by connecting with other like-minded individuals. And I am working very hard behind the scenes with several spiritual leaders, collaborators, to bring together a like-minded spiritual community where you get healing and growth for yourself on a mind, body, and soul level. We are not here to walk this path alone. We are here to rise together. So please, again, like, comment, share, subscribe. I want to have an amazing community with all of you in it. So please continue to share. And until next time, trust the process, honor your truth, and stay connected to Source.